guys, you're watching Z1 and Only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a Mini City. I'm a little bit pushed for time today. Like I mentioned last episode, this one's being recorded straight after, but hopefully we'll be able to have a good episode. I want to do the tennis court to start off with today. We've got a double tennis court in the real city located around here, but what I'm going to do is, instead of doing it on a full block, I want to do it on a carpet or a piece of wool, because that way, like the swimming pool, we can put it anywhere that we want. We can put it on the ground if we want a swimming pool or a tennis court on the ground, but then we can also put it on top of skyscrapers, for example, or on top of anything. You know, if we build a mini version of the cruise ship and we don't use the boat idea, I'll be able to stick a swimming pool on top and a tennis court on top. It just allows us to put a tennis court anywhere that we like. Now, in the world, the tennis court would be here. It's not quite next, it is quite close to the water, but I don't think it's next to the water. I don't want to put it next to the water, at least in the mini city. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend this part of the road by one block, or move it over by one block at least, like that, and put grass back in here. Building roads is a lot quicker when you've got a 1 block wide road, isn't it? Just move a whole road without any problem. No world edit necessary. And it's going to go right in here. So what carpet are we going to use? Let's use green. Green carpet. Boom. Goes right there. That's going to be a tennis court. Across the road from the tennis court, we have the skate park. That's going to be tricky to pull off in pixel form. It's going to be really hard to pull off in pixel form. I don't want to use a carpet for that. I think I can use a full block for that. Maybe any block would do, really. Mossy stone, there we go. Mossy stone. I'm going to put a full block in there. I know you can see it down the side, but that's going to matter next to water. I'll try it, maybe, but I don't think it's going to work out all that well. And also, that doesn't need to be a carpet here. It can be a full block because it is going in the ground. And then it's flush. You see, it doesn't stick out above the ground then. So, we're going to start off with the tennis courts. If that goes well, we'll try the skate park, but I'm not holding my hopes too high for it. So, I'll jump into Photoshop. Alright, so we're in Photoshop. Here's our green wool and soon to be a tennis court. This is the tennis court. They're nice and simple in the main city, nothing too crazy going on, but it does have a nice layout here. We have the clay base, so it's basically just a grey base we're going to do, and then we have the white lines and an orange tennis court look. For the netting, that's going to be tricky to do. I think we're going to have to do maybe some kind of darker grey, because I can't use white, because that's going to probably look or blend too much into the lines of the court. And I can't use a light grey because that's going to blend into the floor of the area itself. So we'll figure that out when we get there. Let's put that up there. Okay, so first things being first, we should get a nice grey. A light grey, not too crazy light. I think that's about right. And we'll just, boop, do the whole thing. I think that's perfect. It's that just, maybe we should do it with a little bit of a blue hint. Yeah. Now this is going to be so subtly different. Yeah, I like that though. I think that's a little bit more realistic. I don't know if you guys could tell a difference then. But I certainly could. Orange now, we're going to have to want, oh no, I should probably do the lines first. Can I see the lines on here? Nice, I can, beautiful. So the lines, I want to fit 2 tennis courts in here if possible. So I'm just going to put a middle divider down for the moment. To use up as much room as we possibly can, I think I'm going to go 2 blocks in from the left hand side and 2 blocks in from the middle. So that's going to give us the width of our tennis court. I just need to do one, and then I can copy and paste it over. And for the top and the bottom, I don't know how long this tennis court's going to be. So we're going to go from the middle point here where the net's going to be. Let's just, for the moment, do a dark grey for the net, like that. And now we can do the lines to go on here. So we have a split around here and around here, which is 5 blocks away from the net. I can't do a middle point unless I move that over by 1. If I move it that way by 1 block. I'm going to have to. I have no choice. We were left, basically, if you guys didn't spot what was going on, we were left with an with an even number in the middle, because it's a 32 by 32-bit texture pack, which means that isn't the middle. Does it? I forgot it's a 32 by 30. Yeah. See? There's 2 middle points. That and that is technically the middle. I think I like it like that. I was thinking about maybe moving that by... Oops. That... It's gone. I'll be back. Alright, it doesn't matter that I accidentally closed it with a combination of buttons, because I totally forgot that the texture pack is an even number. All texture packs are even numbers. They're either 16 by 16, 32 by 32, 64 by 64, 128 by 128, 256 by 256. This is a 32 by 32-bit texture pack, which is obviously an odd number, which means we need 2 pixels in the middle if we wanted them to be evenly spaced away from each other and away from the sides. But it also means that there's going to be a middle point in the other direction as well. Now, we either make the net 2 blocks thick like how it is now, which I don't think is going to look right, or the tennis court is actually going to be 1 pixel too high or 1 pixel too low, because it's not going to be able to get perfectly centered because it's an even number. I think we're going to go with the up by 1 pixel idea instead of the double middle point. But the other problem, so we can take this away, the other problem is that I want to have the doubles lines. Is that what they call the doubles lines? You know, these ones that go down the side? And to get out, to do that, it's going to be a little bit more trickier. Because we're actually really tight on space. That is as far towards the middle as we're actually allowed to go, because if I go here, that means when I put the other one down, it's going to be there, therefore they're going to be touching. So that has to be the very edge line. The double line, the thinnest we can go is 1 pixel, which has to be here, which means if I said 4 blocks for, I don't know what the exact terminology is, but for like the little box area here, and we had 4 there and then 1 there, as you can see, it's now touching the edge of the whole block, which could look a little bit weird then when you look at it on top of a building, because it's going to be like you can just run straight off the edge of the building. So the only we've got 2 options. Option A is not do the tram lines or the doubles lines, or whatever you want to call them, and not do them. Option B is to reduce it so there's 3 blocks in the middle instead of 4, and that would give us 2 blocks on the edge, which I think is a little bit more preferable. Preferable. All right. So let's do that. The net is then that big. I'm going to keep this line in the middle here. I'll take that away at the end. We then want, I think, 4 blocks back to do... Hello? There we go. To do that part. And then this line doesn't exist. And then we have this one. We'll do it 4 blocks back again. So it's going to go there with a little dot. I think that's the most tennis court looking that we're going to be able to get on this scale. We can't really put any more detail in than we've got. Do you agree with me? Can you guys think of a way that we could get more detail in? I can't. I think that's as close as we're going to get. And then we get some orange. We're going to keep it with the orange style floor. I'm going to do it a little bit lighter than probably what it is on our main city world. Put that in there. That goes down there. Oops. That goes down there. These ones, it's a little bit darker on the main city, but I think this is going to give a little bit more of a better impression of what it's meant to be. Like that. The only thing that I don't like is the nets. But there really isn't, for me, another way that we could do it. If I made it white, it would look like that. which doesn't look as good. That definitely looks better. If I made it slightly lighter, but slightly lighter than what it is, but slightly darker than the surrounding area, it looks like that. What if I done a mix? I think that's probably the best balance we're going to get. I think that's probably going to work the best, right? And then I can, if I want, I don't know how much of a good idea it is, but we could get a little tennis ball down. That's not really yellow enough. Like a little tennis ball just sitting on there. I think that's pretty cool. Maybe just on one of them. So then we can now copy and paste this tennis court over here and remove the tennis ball so it doesn't look exactly the same. And I think that's pretty good. I don't think there's really anything more that we can do on it. So we're going to combine that and save it. And let's see what it looks like in Minecraft. Boom, it just finished loading, so I've only just seen it. But there we go. That actually looks really cool. It's actually very close to our path texture, or our path color, but just with that little hint of blue in it, a very slight hint of blue to make it a little bit more of that clay color. I think that works really well. I think that looks really cool to have there, right? And again, because we've got it as a carpet, I can stick it on the top of buildings. That's so cool. I need a tennis court on top of a skyscraper. We don't actually have that in the main city yet, do we? But yeah, we can stick it on top of anywhere that we like. And we can also put these anywhere now. It's just going to work really well. I think it's going to be a really nice balance. For the skate park, this is going to be tricky, right? This is going to be hard. I'm not going to put a skate park anywhere else. We're not going to put a skate park on top of a building, so I don't need to do it in a carpet format, which is why we've got the mossy stone down there. I'm going to load up Photoshop and a picture of the skate park, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, I did notice something. We had it as mossy cobble, as the block that we were going to change, but then I remembered that mossy cobble has a wall variation. There's mossy cobblestone walls. So if we change the texture of that, it would make the cobblestone wall look really weird. So I don't want to do that, or the mossy version. So instead I've just changed it to obsidian. It's just another block that we've got left to change. And this is the skate park. So we've got a blue and pink sort of skate park going on here, which we can easily do in Photoshop. We've got a darkish grey road almost, or is the road colour as a base, so we can do that too. These little clay blobs is graffiti, meant to be like graffiti written on the floor. But how are we going to make it look like ramps and not just flat sections like this part? Well, maybe we can do something clever with shading. See how this part is darker and then this part is lighter, you know, because the sun's looking at it. If we could do that on a very small pixel scale, maybe it'll give the impression that it's actually curved. Now, this might go like the crane did, and I might go, you know what, it's not bad, and then next episode just totally hate it, and you guys might not like it either. But I think we owe it to the skate park to give it a go. So let's just get our two basic colors there. We want a nice blue. That's perfect. It's like a proper candy blue. I'm just going to put them at the bottom for the moment, so I've always got the original colors there. And then the pink, it's not really a pink, it's like a red pink, more redder, it's more on this side. Perfect. So they are definitely those two colors, right? Those two are those two. Now, we've got, let's start off with the half pipe. It's in the middle here, okay? So we're going to grab the pink first, and we're going to put the pink, I think we're going to do it like 5 blocks tall by, it doesn't matter if it's an even or an odd number. It doesn't matter. Whatever sort of looks the best for us, I think. Let's move this over by a block or 2 or 4, whatever, and recolor that in, because I've got this flat section to go in here. We then have the blue on either side. See, at the moment, our eyes, like for us watching this, we're imagining it as a half pipe from the top. But for anybody else that's looking at this, they're not going to know. So to fix that, we're going to go a little bit darker here. And I'm going to do that one and that one. I need to do the whole thing one block bigger, I think. So we've got slightly darker there and there. We're then going to go slightly darker for that one and that one, that one and that one. We're going to go slightly darker for that one and that one, that one and that one. Darker again. You guys are getting the idea, right? And then slightly darker again. Now the subtle changes, I can already see, like there's a real nice gradient. I think this is going to work. We'll grab the pink now. We go slightly darker. Very subtle at first. And we go slightly darker. We go slightly darker. I think I'm going darker too quickly. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not. There and there. Slightly darker. No, it's been okay. And then slightly darker. Now I can see a little bit more of a gradient going on. A little bit more of a ramp. It's tough to see, but I think it's okay. So what we can do is we can actually shortcut this a little bit by grabbing this half to do the ramp that's down here. There's also some benches, but I'm going to ignore the benches. So that goes there. I can do the flat square part. That's going to go in right here. Ooh, not that one. I don't want to crop anything. To go like that. It looks weird now that that's so bright, isn't it? It looks really weird. And then we can grab this side, but maybe not all of it. Maybe I just go like 4 blocks instead. 4 by 4. Yeah, 4 by 4. And then copy and put that here. Grab the dark blue, because it's meant to be at that height. For the flat section, I'm going to do 3 blocks. And then I'm going to grab this one, 4 by 4. Oh, go away. There we go. Like that. That's because if you don't know what that is, that's because I'm copying a layer that doesn't have what I want on it. But I just keep being dumb and not realizing. We shall put a backing on the side of that, a backing on this one, and a backing along there. Alright. Then we've got the grind rails, which will do the light blue. There's a grind rail that goes along here, and there's a grind rail that goes down here. Maybe I could do something with the darker shades as well, just to make it look like it sort of maybe goes up or something like that, like a little bit. Just adds a little something, doesn't it? It just adds a little something. We can take away these 2 base colors now. I don't need those anymore. I think I could have got away with making this ramp a little bit bigger. And I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to just redo this. I'm going to go with a 5 by 5 instead. Put that there. And then I'm going to get a 5 by 5. See, I remembered that time. To go here. Leaving 4 blocks in the middle. We'll then grab the blue to go here. The grey to go here. And that blue to go there. So it has that sort of drop, that double ramp. That looks a lot better. I'm a lot happy with that. And then for the graffiti on the floor, do we even bother with it? Do we do the graffiti? I can try it. In fact, I got an idea of how we might be able to do this, actually. I'm going to combine all the layers together, and I'm going to make a new layer, just in case this doesn't work, and then I can just delete it all. I'm going to put a green clump, green clump, green clump. What are you doing, AJ? It looks like Ghostbusters has been around here. Then we're going to have some yellow. Yellow. This might not work. This is just me testing. Yellow. We'll grab some red. 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 red, and some purple. Just because it's a different colour. Purple, 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 purple. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to... I don't need to select an area. I'm just going to use a smudge tool. Oh, I'm smudging everything. I'm just going to smudge them in a little bit to each other. Fades them out a little bit. There's option number 1. Option number 2 is to use these a different type of smudge. So actually blends the colours in a little bit more. Makes them look a little bit more pastel-y almost, isn't it? I like that. I think that looks a little bit interesting. Looks like little graffiti marks or chalk marks on the floor that the kids have done in the area. If I zoom out a little bit, I think that works. I'm going to stick with it. Maybe you guys will completely disagree. Maybe you guys will hate it. I like it. I'm going to say that I like it. I'm going to put it out there. So let's jump back into Minecraft and see what it looks like where we want to see it. I never get tired of like the 5-second wait as the texture pack loads. There we go. And boom. Okay, it's technically upside down. I might reverse that because this should be the entrance on this side, but I didn't realize that the blocks was the other way around. But yeah, that actually works quite well. Again, I like the chalk marks on the floor, how it sort of blends in like that. I really like the ramps. I think that gives a pretty good impression of height. Yeah, no, I like that. This little bit on the side, I'm really not that bothered about. In fact, when we flip it over, I think we're only going to be able to see the grey bit there. So I'm really not worried about that. I'm not going to put it onto a carpet to only use once, am I? Anyway, that's going to do it. I'm actually really happy with that. What we'll do is we'll get a sapling just to finish off the episode with, and some string. And I'm going to put a tree here and a tree here. Yeah, why not a tree there? Tree can't grow underneath there anyway. Put a piece of string on top. There is in the real city, obviously, a fence that goes all the way around. There's nothing that we can use in Minecraft for a fence on that sort of scale. So it's just going to have to do with a tree next to it. But I'm actually quite impressed. I'm quite chuffed with that. Let's see if we go down here. It's interesting. I think I like it. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, your feedback, maybe some improvements that you have. I also noticed that I could probably shade these trees a little bit better than what they are. Put a little bit of a darker brown on the trunk, you know, make them look a little bit more standout than what they are. That could work. We shall see you guys in the next episode.